reports. So we talked about this, tells all your history, what's on it, how much is borrowed. So your credit report can be free, your score is not. So this is where everything gets tricky. Under Massachusetts state law, you are entitled to one copy of each of your credit reports once a year. So the rule of what we do is do one in January, wait 4 months, do the next one. Because then you have, you're going to divide it up over the whole year, and you can always see. What's reported on one usually is what is reported on all of them. Your score might change. People ask about Credit Karma all the time, like that's the big one. Credit Karma is a great place to monitor your report for free, because you can see all the information pulled together. It is a horrible place to judge your credit score off of, because there are so many different variations of credit scores that you really need to know what is your lender of choice using. So with the credit union, we use a FICO version, so the Fair Isaac Credit Company version 2 or something. That's the only one we use. So if you come in with your Credit Karma report and you're like, Credit Karma says that I have an advantage score of 729, so I just need a better rate. That's not the credit score we're using. So you need to know what is this model that your bank or your institution is using to know what score. Like, great way to look at your report. If you have a good report, you're going to have a good score. Yes?
Do you know if there's one that's like used more than others?
It's usually a FICO score,
FICO?
but you have to be careful of different models, and it's done by, so FICO is done by Experian. But it also depends on who, it's just a really popular one right now, but it could be TransUnion in 5 years, and TransUnion has a different model, and they're using that one. Yes?
I have like a Discover student credit card,
Yeah.
and I can, on my account, it just lets me access my credit score. It's a FICO one.
Yeah.
But is that just specific to that card, or
It
is that?
could be very specific. No,
It would be my own
it's your
credit,
report,
right?
but you want to make sure that it is your. So for you to come into, say you needed a loan from the credit union, you're like, oh yeah, I got a FICO score from my Discover card that says I'm this. That might be a different model.
Okay.
Like we're looking, it's a good idea. Like if you notice tomorrow, you go in there and you're like, what just happened? Like my score just plummeted 50 points. That's a good indication. Like I'm gonna go check my report.
Okay.
Because that's how you're gonna keep it. But you have to double check. My American Express does it too, but it's not a Fair Isaac. It's not the Fair Isaac version 2. I do most of my lending through my employer, so I know that that's real. It's a good gauge, but it's not my exact score. Do you have another question?
No, I was just saying that it's definitely your whole score, not just the Discover credit.
Yeah. If you're ever declined credit, you'll get a letter that says this is your credit score. These are why we declined you. You have an opportunity to appeal that decision if there's something not in your thing. If you hold your report and you're like, dude, I never even owned a Macy's card. You can file with the bureau. They go to the lender. They say, yeah, they never had it. It gets pulled off your credit. So the credit bureaus, we've talked a lot about that. Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. These are the groups that come up with your score and the model that you're using. So this is an actual credit report. This is somebody that came in to buy a car. Okay? And I promise you this is not mine. This is what your banks and your lenders are going to look at. So this is how you're going to see. So it comes up with your information right here. So this is using the Experian Fair Isaac version 2 score, 720. And why is it a 720? Because they've had some serious delinquencies in the past. They've had length of time on accounts has been established. Level of delinquency on accounts, proportion of loan balances to loan amounts is too high, and too many inquiries in the last 12 months. So these are all the direct pieces that somehow have come up with this score. So this one, Department of Education, first thing. That is someone's student loan right there. It's saying that this particular loan was opened in June of 2015, October of 2013. Date last reported was June 2015. Their loan was for $3,200. It's an education loan. Their balance is currently $3,300. They're making 120 payments of $33 a month. And they're paying it as agreed. U.S. Federal Savings, this is an auto, it's telling you. This is Luxottica. Luxottica owns all like the eyeglass companies. They had a card there. Closed at consumer's request. So it shows that it was closed. Department of Education, USA, savings account, K Jewelers, CBNA, Department of Education, CBNA, Bank of America, account closed at credit grantor's request. Bank of America closed this account, not them. So it's telling you right there that this account was closed because Bank of America said to. It was either a check credit or a line of credit. That was the problem. This Capital One account closed at consumer's request. Now, this was opened in 2005, February 2005. Date last reported was September of 2005. So probably opened it, closed it real quick. Capital One closed under dispute because it was sold. So it's telling you that this account was sold to Citibank. Capital One Auto account closed at consumer's request. Let's see. Account closed. So everything, even though these things are getting further and further away from the date that this credit report was pulled, it doesn't go away. So your actions now are going to follow you when you credit. This account, he was closed. He was an authorized user, so it has less of an impact. This one was closed. It was transferred to another lender. Closed at consumer's request. Closed at consumer's request. And now we get into probably where they had some problems. This one, some kind of credit. They made $2,500. They were late 3 times on this account. And it tells you, they were late on March of 2010, December of 2009, and April of 2009. So while this is not directly impacting his score, it is showing up forever that this guy was late. Auto finance closed. This one, it was settled. So it's collections account. So people think settled, meaning like, oh, I'm done with it. No, that bank took a loss. They did not get the full money they were entitled to. That's going to stay settled until the day he pays it back, 100%. So if you have something in collections and they write it off, yeah, it might just go away. The phone might stop ringing. The bills might stop coming. But they've decided to walk away from it. You can always have the option, like this person could go back to Bank of America and be like, dude, I know I walked away from like $5,000. Like I just want to pay it and like make good. It'll come off. It'll say, paid. But that collection is never going to go away. That settled is like a huge red flag. Granted that this was probably, this was multiple years from when it was happening, so it has less of an impact, but it's always going to show up. This tells you exactly, what your balance is, what your high limit is, what your monthly payment is, and if you're currently past due on anything. So right now, this person's using 29% of their available credit. You can see they have $2,500 left in secured debt. It's probably an auto loan. Unsecured debt about $10,000. Oldest trade line, so that's where that comes into play about the credit card that you don't use. It shows right here. Their oldest card was in November 1999. Derogatory summary: 30 days late, 60 days late, 90 days late. Inquiries. This one. It starts to tell you every person that you owe money to. It shows up on the bottom of like where the name of the bank, how to get in contact with them, so you can deal with them directly. Yes.
So if you like overdraft on like a bank account, does that affect your credit score?
Not if you make good on it.
Okay.
If you walk away from it, if you're like, yeah, I overdrafted on my Citizens account, so I'm just gonna open up a new bank account somewhere else, which people try to do. Bank of America puts out a thing. It's like, hey, they walked away. Like they owe us money. It's going to make it very difficult for you to start opening another bank
But if you
account.
like paid it back.
If you paid it, yeah, overdrafts, bounced checks, like it happens. Like it it's embarrassing, like when it happens, but it happens. It happens to everybody at some point in their life. But as long as you're like make it right, like I'm going to pay the You know, the $35 they charged me because they covered the check, or $35 if they didn't cover the check, that doesn't affect. If you walk away from it, then it's going to affect your scores. This is usually the cover letter again that you get. First thing, your credit score. All right. 10 tips to building good credit. Set a budget. Provide complete and accurate, consistent identification. So, as you heard, Christina called me Katie. My real name's Kathleen. It does me no benefit to start applying for things under Katie Sullivan. You know, or mixing up your name. Like, try to be consistent as always. You know, even if it's like Kathleen M. Sullivan versus just saying Kathleen Sullivan. Like, because you want to make sure that they know there's more pieces that they have to connect to make sure that this is you and that's what's going on. Pay your bills on time. Have some credit but not too much. Have a mixture of credit types. Keep your balances low. Use caution when closing accounts or your debt to income ratio. And demonstrate stability, meaning like you're not just be like, hey, I graduated and I am just opening up accounts everywhere I see. I just got my new job. Like, this is great. The biggest thing is contact your lenders if you start to fall behind. Contact them before you 3 days before that you won't have the money for that payment. Call them, talk to them. They would rather you come to them and tell them you're having trouble than them calling you and saying, hey, where's my money? You know, and this, I can't even stress this enough. Like, they would rather, as a credit union, we are not in the auto sales business, so we do not want to repossess your car and then have to find a way for us to sell it. We do not want to take your house back and find a way for us to sell it. You call us and say, you know what, I lost my job, and really, I have a couple interviews worked out this week. Okay, you know what, we're going to push it out 30 days. Give us a heads up, in 15 days, where you are. They would rather work with you. It's so expensive for us to try to get rid of a car or get rid of a house that we really have no intentions on owning. Did you have a question?
Yeah. So when paying off monthly, how there's always a minimum amount.
Yeah.
Should you pay more than that?
I would definitely. I have a slide. I have a quick slide I'll get to because that was a specific question I was asked. Credit myths. My score will drop if I check my own credit. Nope. It's kind of seen as being responsible. Once they pay up a negative record, it'll be removed. As we saw in that last example, the guy's report, it doesn't drop off. Your poor score will be with you forever. It's just a snapshot. It's just the last rolling 24 months that have the most impact on your score. So if you mess up today, it's going to start affecting your score less and less and less the further back in time it goes. Paying off my debt will add 50 points. People say this all the time. We don't know what it does. We just know that it improves your score. Closing old accounts will improve my score. You got to be careful of that debt to income ratio or the debt to available line of credit. This is a big thing. Divorce severs all debt. No. If two people applied for two people applied for a car, two people applied for a house, and they divorce, they still each applied separately. So just because a judge says, you get this car might be paid off, this car might still have car payments on it, both people are still responsible for paying that. And then, so this was reading a credit card statement. So this person's minimum payment is $28, they have a balance of $2,800. So if you pay only you make no more charges, you stop using it, and you pay only the minimum, you'll pay it off in 14 years, and you will pay $6,200. So you've just turned $2,800 into $6,200. If you make no charges and pay $103, so you're adding about $75 to your payment, you're going to pay it off in 3 years and only pay an additional $3,600.
That's with interest on it though, right?
That's it's compounding interest, meaning this becomes your new balance. So that the interest always, if you're struggling, my biggest suggestion is always pay your minimum plus your finance charges. All right. So in this case, that would be your minimum would be your $28, and your